Currently, I am doing this video regarding the rules and regulations and the bills passed on crypto and the criticism on the same from BGD MP Mr. Pinaki Mishra. He has expressed his anxiety about bills on crypto and also about the crypto ban. He explained that the government has identified cryptocurrencies as an offense. It's as though cryptocurrency dealing is something simple. Here's what Mr. MP Pinaki Mishra argued in the debate. Everybody have a look at this video, please.
We've seen also the kind of divergent positions. Countries like China or countries like El Salvador have taken diametrically opposite positions. You can't get into much of what's happening in the Standing Committee on Finance, and we appreciate that. But sitting where you are, what do you think of the government's approach so far vis-a-vis how you think the government should be dealing with these challenges?
Let me just say at the threshold that my chairman, Mr. Jayant Sinha's nuanced position here, and indeed his nuanced position every time he's chaired any meeting of the Finance Committee, unfortunately is not borne out by the mandarins of the Finance Ministry. I've always said that Mr. Sinha's in the wrong finance sector of the government. He should have been in the ministry rather than chairing a committee. I've never been a fan of the finance ministry in India. I've been a taxpayer for the last 37 years.
Now he's wondering, are you a friend or a foe? This is like a frenemy.
Well, I've said this far too often now and far too publicly. It's been taken note of, I'm sure. And I mean it from the heart that I think, he would be an incredible asset. For no other reason that he takes
So at least
a knowledgeable and
he's an
nuanced,
asset. There's no question mark around
and
that. Yeah.
knowledgeable position. And indeed, even when the government was still contemplating, the legislation on it, he had the sagacity to say, why don't we, invite some experts and at least let's start taking the first steps, the baby steps, if it were, towards our committee's, responses and formulations, if and when and for sure that bill will come to us. So that's the kind of farsightedness he had at the beginning of this year's Finance Committee. But like I said, I agree with Priyanka that government is speaking in many languages, at cross purposes, has no clue where it's going at the moment. As with any other egregious steps that this government has, many governments in the past, but particularly the finance ministry has taken, retrospective taxation, for instance, etc., etc. So there have been many missteps by the finance ministry, and this one promises again to be very serious missteps.
You said that the finance ministry mandarins aren't understanding minutiae. Can you spell that out? Like, where do you think they're getting it wrong?
Look, as Priyanka said, if the RBI governor, day in, day out, and he's supposed to be your principal regulator in the country, if day in, day out, he goes on record and repeatedly to warn the public saying, this is just hot air, do not touch it. You touch it at your peril. Now, if that's going to be your RBI governor's studied position on a daily basis, how can the finance ministry bring in a tax to say what the RBI governor says is simply hot air is something we plan to tax?
Now the BJP can say the governor doesn't speak for us, he's independent. It's proof of his independence.
Now kindly see what the taxation policy is. You bring in a 1% tax when globally everybody acknowledges that the tax slab should be 0.01%. Where is 0.01% and where is 1%? The other day I read in the Indian Express, day before, that government is now planning on this entire GST thing. Again, thinking is the paradigm is between 0.1% and 1%. Which country in the world do finance ministry mandarins talk of a bandwidth of 0.1% to 1%? I can understand 0.1% to 0.3%, 0.5%, or 0.95 basis points to 1%. But it can't become 0.1% to 1%. How can it be a 100-time jump? So if this is how the finance ministry talks, all they are going to do is drive this underground. All they are going to do is drive it abroad, and that's what's happening. All your blockchains, all your servers, everybody is going to take this abroad. Ensure that India doesn't get any of the spin-off benefits, and that's typical of our finance ministry, that anything that can be productive, that can be a great asset, that can be a wealth creator, a wealth producer, a wealth generator, a wealth distributor, drive it either underground or abroad. That's the, they're outstanding.
Hi, coming back. Hope everybody focused on what Mr. Pinaki was telling. The same thing I'll be explaining in a short. He was telling that in a single stroke, the union government has managed to hamper Indian cryptocurrency's future, where there is no clarity on how the government intends to regulate the space of cryptocurrency. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has made certain changes to the regulations of virtual digital assets class that will be greatly hampered Indians' cryptos. It is critical to understand that what the finance minister has done by introducing this 1% on the blockchain industries, it is going to hamper the way the business is done. He also, Mr. Rapinaki has also cautioned that the TDS will breed red tapism and intend to destroy the nascent accent class. In conclusion, he predicted that government will be forced to cut back on the process of tax in the future. The debate on the Finance Bill 2022 provides us an insight into the flaws of the government decision to tax cryptocurrencies assets. The issues highlighted by the opposition MPs in turn could compel the government to clarify the reason behind its decision to introduce a high tax rate. Mr. Pinaki Mishra expressed his dismay at the comments of MP Nishant Dubey advocating a crypto ban. There is a rampant confusion. A ban on cryptocurrency is equivalent to banning the internet. It is an idea whose time has come. Mr. MP Pinaki Mishra also pointed out the RBI governor has gone on record to say cryptocurrencies are just hot air. There is hot air on behalf of the RBI governor who is in charge of issuing digital currency, which will be equally, I think, hot air. And the government which wants to therefore tax the hot air. The government has gone on for a 30% slab on the basis that it must be at a higher listing than equity gains because it is some kind of sin. Mishra said that the government did not heed appeals from the crypto industry to keep TDS as 0.01%. He added that the Finance Standing Committee was expecting the crypto bill in August or September 2021. Dear friends, there will be much more information about the rules, regulation, bills, taxes, and cryptos. Taxes on cryptos. Lots of confusion to the government how to put tax, TDS, and etc. In the coming future, hope we will be getting clarity on all these confusions. Hope you enjoyed the video, dear friends. Thanks a lot for watching this video. Have a nice day, guys. Thanks a lot.